I have a deep love for her because she has taught me so much.
Marjorie was always so sweet and loving, and when I first met her, I thought, wow, she really likes me. And it didn't take me long to discover that she really likes everybody.
For me, it was love at first sight. I think it took just a little bit longer for her.
She loved everyone, and of course she was always very giving and shared with everyone.
And Marjorie was a friend. She was a friend to me and a friend to nearly everyone she met.
She was the most lovable and loving grandma on earth.
She was always really nice. She would go up to complete and total strangers that she didn't know and then hug them and compliment them.
My favorite memory of her is her hugs every week, without fail.
Always greeting me with a big hug and a smile.
She had learned something about how touch was so important, and so she had implemented the family hug. We can imagine with 4 brothers how that was initially. A lot of complaining and, oh, I don't want to touch him. But, the really neat thing was that over time, it didn't take that long. We all felt a lot more love for each other, and it really made a huge difference in our relationships.
And the last Sunday that we were both at church, she gave me a hug, and I was packing up my stuff and getting ready, and she said, I don't know why, but I need to give you another hug. And so we hugged, and it was a little bit longer this time, and she just, when we pulled away, said that she loved me.
I have many wonderful memories of you, Marjorie, but the most outstanding is when you invited me to Aaron's birth. I felt truly honored to be invited to such a very special event and kind of amused at Jim taking pictures of everything.
She would send me letters and postcards every week talking about how much she loved me and how much she was there for me. And I can't tell you just how much that meant to me.
She was always writing letters or notes to people, but it wasn't just random other people, it was also to us. And every birthday that I can remember, she always wrote a heartfelt message to me. And it wasn't just, oh, I love you, Liz, you're a wonderful daughter, or whatever. I mean, it would just be specific things that she loved about me and that she was grateful for. That just made me feel special.
Mom, words can't describe the love that I have for you. Thank you for bringing me into this world, for unconditionally loving me, and for raising me to be the man that I am today. I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
She just had a real gift for being able to help others see beautiful things about themselves that maybe they weren't seeing.
She always had the nicest things to say. Like, I remember one time when we were coloring together, and I pretty much just scribbled on the paper, and she said it was unique and beautiful.
She loved to compliment you. She loved to make you feel good about yourself. Like, she'd tell you how handsome you are, how smart you are, how good of a leader you are. And it just made me feel so special to know that she could see that in me, even though I couldn't.
She encouraged me to do a lot of my talents and to expand myself even more and to stay close to the gospel.
We would do her makeup, and it would always look super crazy and ridiculous, but she would always tell us it looked really good.
She just seemed genuinely glad to have the opportunity to help out somebody else.
Any of my friends that would ever come over, I know now they just say basically, you have the nicest, kindest mom I've ever met.
She is one of the most genuinely kind and caring and sweet people that I've ever met. And she was always very welcoming to me.
One night, Marjorie and I went for a walk. I really kind of just dumped it all on her, all the stuff that I was feeling anxious about and thinking about. What struck me so much was what an amazing listener she was. There was no point where she made me feel judged. She didn't make me feel like she was trying to solve my problems or like she was even trying to get me to look at them in a different way. She just made me feel like she was there for me. I was really being listened to.
Every time she'd come to visit us, I would be scrambling around the house trying to get things done and take care of this or that with the kids. And she would always find me. She would always find me and give me the biggest hug and tell me how much she loved me and how much she was so proud of me and our family. And I needed that. I needed that because I always felt like I was falling short. And she somehow knew that, and every time she would build me up enough to be able to go on.
Grandma, she always used to do amazing things, and she was such a great example.
She was always willing to do stuff with whole children or whole grandchildren.
I used to sit in awe of her, watching her as she would play with the grandkids. She loves her children and her grandchildren very much, and she used to play with the grandkids, and she would dance around and hop around. And
she was always really nice to us, and she would give us piggyback rides and tons of crazy stuff with us just because we wanted to.
And she just had such a sweet spirit, and she reminded me sort of like a deer prancing because of the way she would hop and walk.
I like when Grandma babysits me. Me too.
She took me to the dollar store, and we walked there, and she would pretty much buy us anything we want.
She'd never leave anyone out. I mean, when she couldn't take other people, she'd make a different trip to walk them, even though we know that must have been a lot of walking for her.
She was really tired and her legs really hurt, but she still walked me down to the Dollar Tree, and she used money on me, and it was really fun. When we were going home, we sat on this bench and just started singing and just stayed there for maybe 30 minutes.
She loves the animals. I remember getting her this one stuffed animal that she liked very much.
It helps make the white dinosaur.
Like one night out of the month, I would spend the night at her house, and she'd let me play dress up in her clothing and wear these high heels like this high and wear her makeup.
So I've learned a lot from her. I've watched her with my children to show them how she would just come and she would take them and play whatever they wanted to play. If they were playing dollhouse, she'd go sit on the floor and play dollhouse, or give them piggyback rides, or just be in the moment with them, which being a mom of little kids, I'm not used to doing. So I'm always busy, but she showed me how to do that.
And I just remember one of the times when we had the opportunity to perform together, and it was just such a special experience where we had I think we'd done it more than once, but we'd performed a medley of hymns. Just the comfort you gave me, you know, because I was super nervous. You made everything feel okay, and it's your sweet, nurturing spirit that's helping to become the man I am.
I loved how Mom knew how to motivate us. She got tired of actually making me toast. I would ask her all the time. And she said, Ammon, I'm going to give you 10 cents for every toast that you make.
We'd be driving with her, and then we would tell her we wanted something fun, so she would let us get out of the car, and she would drive very slow, and we could act like we were pushing the car. That was really fun because we thought we were really tough, and it looked like we were really tough, so we thought it was really cool.
I made 10 to 15 sandwiches of toast, and I ate every single one of them. Not only was I full, I was $1.50 richer.
She taught me how to drive, actually, when I was 11. And I was doing great, up until the moment I hit a mailbox.
Okay, so the last performance of a play I was in, Gordon threw a scythe at my face. It split my lip wide open. I had to go to the emergency room, my lip stitched up, and I still had to perform in the play. You know, everyone was just cheering me on, and I came home feeling just on top of the world, and then I see a card on the coffee table, and I'm like, wow, that's so sweet. My mom got me a card. So I open it up, and it's not for me, it's for Gordon.
She was one that always cared, and if she saw that one of my friends was down or she thought that something was wrong, she would pull him to the side and she'd try and talk to him, and she'd say, hey, I noticed that you look sad. Anything you'd like to talk about?
I was just completely mortified. How could my brother, how could my attempted murderer, how could he get the card and not me? I thought it was a huge injustice. But as an adult, I understand that Gordon really needed it. He was just at his lowest point, and he needed some support, and he needed some love. My mom saw that. And to her credit, years later when we discussed it, she's like, you know, I can understand why that would make you so sad and how that would make you feel. And I really should have gotten 2 cards.
Once when I was little, we were holding one of the children when they were a baby, and we were putting the baby to sleep. We were saying, I'm a child of God, but instead of saying, I am a child of God, Grandma always said, you are a child of God. And so she changed it to where it would always be like they were a child of God and God sent them here. And I always thought that was really cool because it really like made it more personal to them since we were singing to them at such a young age.
I miss Grandma so much.
And Grandma was always that kind of person. She was always that person that wanted to make you feel like you were a child of God and you were special and important.
Within probably a couple of months of getting to know each other, I had met her for lunch in Auburn, and we'd gone to her apartment, and we were kneeling to have a prayer, and this thought came to me, silly man, you're kneeling already, why don't you go ahead and ask her? And so I did. I went ahead and asked her if she'd marry me, and she said yes.
I've always loved how, when she came to visit, especially in later years, she would always spend countless hours running around with the kids, putting them on her back, playing with them, making them feel happy and loved and important.
And Marjory was a sweetheart. She would volunteer to sit with one of the kids during their practice, and practice was kind of getting over. I had just pulled up to pick her and Vinny up, and she tripped and fell and broke her nose. You know what? Of course, when it happened, all the other parents were there and the coaches, and they came over and wanted to make sure she was okay. And when we were at the emergency room, I remember her saying, this is really actually a blessing, because she said I was able to feel loved by so many people who came up and asked if I was okay and just wanted to make sure I was doing good. And I thought, how amazing. I know that if I had broken my nose, I certainly would not be thinking it was a blessing in any way. But that is exactly who Marjory is.
Thank you, Marjory, for teaching me so much about life, about callings. I miss you so much already.
I've never known someone that set such a loving, kind example for everybody to follow. She really lived the life Jesus wanted us to live and set a great example for us all to follow. She is greatly missed.
All of us could learn to be a little bit more Christ-like by following her example.
And it was a huge blessing to have Grandma in my life.
I knew her sincerity, and I just felt her love, and I do miss her. I miss that love. I miss that sincerity.
I hope that she knows just how much support she has given me over the years, and just how much I've appreciated the things that she's had to say and the light that she's brought into my life. And for that, I'll always be grateful.
I was so grateful I got to spend those last weeks with her and watch her endure and to show her unwavering faith and just the love she had for all of us. I can never thank her enough for all the things that she shared with me.
M is for motherly.
She's kind of merciful.
Magical.
Magical.
She could make my poopy diaper disappear.
Majestic. She's a real queen of heaven.
Marvelous, because she always thinking of everyone before herself.
A is for artistic.
Artistic, because you like to do art, you like to play piano.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
No matter what, she would go out of her way to make everyone else happy, even if she wasn't very happy.
Always thinking of the best and the positives.
Amazing. She's amazing. She's always really sweet and kind.
R is for radiant.
Radiant.
I don't know.
She glowed with her faith.
Regal. She was like a great queen.
R is for rainbow, because he is beautiful like a rainbow when he's happy. J is for joyful. Just awesome!
Jovial, because Grandma was always happy, even towards the last moments of her life.
Oh, I saw now.
She was obedient.
Optimistic.
Outstanding.
She was obedient to the church. She was always faithful.
R is for read. She loves to read.
See, R is for receptive.
Righteous.
Righteous.
Because she's never rude to anyone. She's always so loving and kind.
Righteous. She loved the Lord, and she wasn't afraid to let everyone know that.
Y is for Yankee. Because Grandma was born in New York. Awesome!
Y is for young at heart.
Young at heart.
Youthful.
Grandma was always good at relating and playing with children.
We always joked around that she was 18, and we were like, that doesn't actually fit because my dad's like 30-something or whatever.
Y is for you are loved.
We love you!
I love you.
Mom, you are so very special. I love you.
I love you, Mom.
I love you and I miss you, Mom.
I love you, Mom.
I love you, Grandma. You've made a significant impact in my life and those of others.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I really love Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma.
I just really love her, and I miss her.
I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma. I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
I will love you forever, Marjorie.
I love you, Marjorie.
I love you, Marjorie.
I love you, Marjorie.
Love you, Marjorie.
And I love you, Mom. And I know you're in a better place.
And Marjorie, I love you with all my heart, and I miss you. And look forward to seeing you again.
So I come downstairs and Mom is just dipping nacho cheese Doritos in the most pungent mustard I've ever smelled. Mom, why are you dipping nacho cheese Doritos in mustard? And she looks at me cold and says, because, George, we're out of ketchup.
Oh, then, yeah, Will just knocked her off. Will.
Oh, okay, well, just enjoy your victory while you got it.